When they know you don't know who they are. Think about that for a minute. So yes, you know who I'm referring to, the person, the dark energy, the person that wears the mask, yes, the narcissist. When you first met them, they were sizing you up, they were figuring out who you were. They were learning all about you. They tried to get as close to as they could. And once they had a couple words with you, maybe it was a couple hours or maybe it was a few moments, maybe it took them a weekend or a week, eventually they figured out if you were somebody who would be what was known as supply. They were trying to figure out if they could get something from you. Now, when they first met you and first introduced themselves to you or vice versa, were they thinking that perhaps you could be somebody who could be of use to them? Absolutely they were. But did they know that you were a true blue, authentic, rare, diamond in the rough empath? No, they didn't. But they probably figured that out rather quickly the more they got to know you. You see, every word you ever use when you engage with toxicity, meaning every time you're communicating with toxicity, and these are things you didn't know back then, every time you talk with somebody like that, a toxic person, you're giving them information. You may not know that, but it's true. Think about this. I'm creating this video here in the Carolina, beautiful scenery, and the birds are all around me and the sun's getting ready to go down. It's a later video, but you're gaining wisdom as you're listening to me communicate with you. And I am also thinking as I'm creating this content. See, we are connected. Fast forward, now that you understand what narcissism is, you now need to understand that your words are extremely powerful. Your ideas and your thoughts are meant to be for yourself, not for toxicity, which is why in so many videos over the years I've suggested don't overshare information. Have a small footprint, heal properly, focus on yourself, control what you can control, and understand that out here where I am and wherever you are, there is toxicity. Yes, the narcissist is everywhere. Not the person you're considering, but the dark energy. It's been swarming all around you since the second you were born. Whether you know it or not, it's still swarming around you right now. It's just perhaps it's not in your energy field, meaning maybe you've relocated, you've gone no contact, you blocked the narcissist, deleted them, and removed them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Essentially, you've rebuilt. Does that mean that narcissism isn't around you? No, it doesn't. What it means is you've removed yourself from the person that led you to my channel. Yes, the apex predator. And the stronger you get, the weaker that person gets. The weaker they get, the more clarity arrives in your mind. The more clear your mind gets, the more you realize that relationship wasn't as bad as you thought it was. It was 10,000 times worse, which is why I create videos each and every day to pay it forward, to help out people who are looking for help and to help out people who don't even know that they need help. Remember, at one point, we were all what is known as the new supply. The new supply is not who you want to be. Who you want to be is a person free from toxicity. You want to be a person with purpose, with abundance, with authenticity, and with the promise of today, tomorrow, tonight, and the future, without that 800-pound gorilla being tethered to your shoulders, your ankles. But when the narcissists know, or when they knew that you didn't know who they were, this was a huge advantage for the narcissist. The narcissist took full advantage of this advantage that they had. And what they did is they got as close to you as they possibly could. And as soon as they got as close to you as they could, they learned all about you. Remember, the narcissist assimilated themselves with you, which means they acted like they had your best interest at heart. And they glommed onto you. And if you liked music A, B, and C, then they automatically liked A, B, and C. If you liked to read certain authors of books, that's what they liked. If you watch certain TV shows or Netflix shows, whatever they were, movies, miraculously, they liked the same things. It was almost too good to be true. And why would that be? You got it. Because it was too good to be true. You see, the narcissist was mirroring you. They were letting you see the promise of days that would never come to fruition. They were letting you think that, yeah, that was your soulmate, or that was a good person, or that was the yin to your yang, or the person that completed you. And as soon as you were committed in that relationship, it all went away just like that. You see, the narcissist wants to capture people. They want to trap people. They want to hoard people. And they want to keep these people on invisible leashes. So those people will continue to work for the narcissist. That is exactly what you were doing. That's what I was doing. But remember, way back then, you didn't know what you know now. So it's no wonder you fell into the clutches of the narcissist. It's no wonder You kept on trying to put out fires that were being started intentionally, deliberately, and on purpose at the hands of the narcissist. And it was not an accident that the narcissist kept on pushing your buttons more and more and more. What the narcissist tried to do is break you, break the relationship, break your belief in humanity, break your belief in tomorrow, break in your belief in love, break in your belief that tomorrow or in the future will be better days. You see, the narcissist took everything that was good from you and they dumped all their toxicity into you. This relationship that I am discussing and have been for almost 6 years, and the same relationship that you're getting the wisdom on, the narcissistic abusive cycle, it is destined to fail. It is destined to implode. Each and every one of these relationships have an expiration date, and they all lead down to a road which has a dead end, and that dead end is called Destructionsville. That's where the narcissist usually dumps people off, and those people usually never put themselves back together or heal or figure out what narcissism is. You're a different person. That's why you need to understand this is your journey. It's your path. It's your life. It's your existence. This is your soul that you have to fight for. You need to cut those ties. You need to cut the 4 ties that tethered you to the narcissist. And what are the 4 ties? They're the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual ties. And as you cut those, you will begin to elevate and ascend. And there will be casualties of the relationship littered all throughout it, but this is part of the healing path. Remember, healing isn't easy. Healing isn't fun. Healing is necessary, and healing can only be done by you. Nobody can heal for you. You can watch all the videos, you can read all the books, but if you don't lift one finger to heal, which means focus on yourself, take all that energy and all the effort that you were placing into the bottomless pit, yes, the narcissist, and place it into yourself and see what you can do. You can do amazing things. You can do so many more things than you even believe capable. It all starts with belief. You need to believe in yourself the way I believe in you. And this is why the narcissist took advantage of you. This is why the narcissist did what they did. And this is why they're still doing it right now if they're still slithering all over the planet. Because they look for sources of supply. They want to capture those sources of supply. And they look mainly for people who don't know who they are, or people who can't break the trauma bond, or who can't break the connection. And that what they want to do is keep those people around as long as possible. You need to understand something. Everybody is replaceable in the eyes of the narcissist. Everybody is expendable in the eyes of the narcissist. Nobody is anything other than a supply source to the narcissist. I shared this in videos before. I'll share it again. Think about what an appliance is. It's something you plug in the wall. Maybe a toaster, maybe a TV, maybe your phone charger, maybe a washing machine. I don't know, whatever it is. That's what the narcissist did with you. They used you as an appliance, and they knew that was what they were going to do. Once the narcissist knows they have their fangs sunken into you, the love bomb / euphoric stage is over. Now it's time to enter devaluation stage. That is when the person, which was me, and I can assure you it was you, you're trying to get back to that beginning of the relationship. And this is all by design. The narcissistic cycle by design is the most toxic, debilitating, life-threatening, challenging relationship or cycle from hell. It's the perfect recipe to destroy someone's life, because what the narcissist does is they isolate people. They use the smear campaign. They triangulate people. They gaslight them. They blame them. They walk 50 feet in front of them. They hang up on them. If I didn't say this, they mirror them. They project upon them. They do everything they possibly can. But what they don't do is ever be authentic. What they don't do is ever be genuine. What they don't do is they don't tell people what they're doing and that they should get away from said person as fast as possible. In other words, the narcissist will never tell you who they are. They will show you over and over again what they're doing. Are they going to call themselves the narcissist? Never going to happen. Are they going to say, yeah, they have faults and flaws and they just really want to do better, but they can't quite seem to do it? Yeah, they'll say rhetoric like that. Do they mean it? Can't tell you. It's up to you to decide. What I can tell you is the narcissist talks out of both sides of their mouth, and they're loyal to nobody and they care about nobody. And once they get close to somebody, they want to destroy that somebody and work on them from the inside out, which is why this person knew that you didn't know who they are. Once you know who they are, you need to run away as far as and as fast as you possibly can. You need to understand these people don't change. They will never change. You could own your own state. You could own your own time zone. You could have all the money in the world. You could be the smartest person on the planet. You could be the most beautiful or handsome person on the planet. It wouldn't matter to said person, because said person needs a couple things. One, they need control. Two, they need access. Three, they need information. And with those three things, what they can do is a lot of damage to a person. But it's not just one person. It is not only that person you're considering, which in this case actually was you, it's all of your relationships. Think about all of the lives that one person has touched through you. Think of all the times you went to work and you were talking to your coworkers and you were telling them, something's wrong here, I can't figure it out. Think of all the times you grab coffee with your friends and you try to get information about a healthy relationship, and they're like, wow, I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like you're actually in an okay relationship. Or maybe they would flip it and say, that's just guys, or that's just women. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Just hang in there. It's going to get better. All these people that you were trying to talk to, they couldn't figure it out. Or maybe they could, wink, wink. What I can tell you is one thing. When you're in the cycle and you get out, you need to stay out. And you need to know that the narcissist is a predator, that they know what they're doing, that they do it deliberately and intentionally, and that they won't ever, ever change. And once you met them, they knew that you didn't know who they were. Think about it. Think about this. Imagine for a quick second, do this mental exercise with me. Imagine if you knew what you know now, but you knew it back then. And then that person walked up to you and talked to you, or whatever they did. You would have been able to read their energy the way they read your energy. And what you could have done is said, hasta la vista, I'm done, goodbye, want nothing to do with you. Maybe you wouldn't have said it that way, but you would have politely put up a boundary and removed yourself from communication with said person. But that's not what happened. See what I mean? In the beginning, when you meet these people, they have that sixth sense, the predatory sixth sense. It's a killer instinct, if you will, literally. And I do mean literally. And I'll say it again. It's a predatory killer instinct. If you think it isn't, you would be wrong. But you didn't know that back then. Now flip it, fast forward. Now you have the wisdom. Now you have your own sixth sense, but you have a sixth sense that will beat. And it does 24/7, 365 days a year. It will always beat and defeat toxicity and negativity, because now you've been to a place you didn't even know existed. You were trapped in a mindset that you didn't even realize was real, and you escaped in one piece. That's why I've been sharing for so many years the same thing that I'll share right now, and I'll close the video. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And once you experience it, you can't unexperience it, which is why you need to understand one thing and one thing only. This person you're considering, they knew what they were doing. And they did it because they're weak, they're cowards, they're bullies, they're shallow, they're hollow, and they are abusers and they're manipulators, and they know it. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. A couple quick things. Remember this. This person you're considering turned your world upside down. They spun it inside out. They took it sideways. They changed the trajectory of your life, and so much more. And I'm being very polite with my words. Despite all that, you're still here. Despite all that, you're a different person. Despite all that, you're getting stronger and stronger. And despite all that, you now have boundaries, and now you know what toxicity is. Once you see it, you need to understand to stay away from it every single opportunity you get. These people, the dark energy that are littered all over this planet, notice the word I used. I didn't say they're placed all over the planet. I said they're littered, because that's what they are. And you know what I know now, which means stay away from the people who are trying to harm you. Stay away from the dark energy, and stay away from anybody, and I mean anybody, who does not have your best interest at heart. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.